Welcome to the Curiosity Shop, where we deal exclusively in gaming wares of the strange and bizarre. And tonight, we have quite an unusual specimen for you. One of a kind. I bet you're curious for more. Our specialists will assist you further. Triss, please indulge us.
Ah, yes. This particular curio is most fascinating. A forgotten playable character that may never see the light of day again. Feast your eyes upon the Purple Captain Toad. The sole documented appearance of Purple Captain Toad is exclusively in the Nintendo Switch version of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, as a multiplayer character. His design is nearly identical to that of Captain Toad, with some color variations of course. He sports a purple bandana and pair of shoes, as opposed to the red of Captain Toad. His backpack is a different shade of brown, and the light on his head shines more yellow than white. But the more notable difference is his head. Unlike the typical white head and colored spots of a toad, his head is bright purple, with white spots. Almost like a purple version of Toadette, but without the pigtails. However, things get more interesting when the toads take damage. When Captain Toad takes damage, the colors on his head actually swap, now primarily red with white spots. The same pattern as normally seen with Purple Captain Toad. But when he takes damage, rather than keeping the exact same head pattern or swapping to white with colored spots, his spots turn pink. In fact, small Purple Captain Toad, wow, that's a mouthful, looks pretty close to the design of the poison mushroom ever since Super Mario 3D Land. Now, that's an interesting connection. If small Captain Toad resembles a super mushroom, and small Purple Captain Toad resembles a poison mushroom, does that imply that Purple Captain Toad is actually an evil doppelganger?
Yeah!
Beyond his design, his entire presence in the game is strange. See, the original Wii U version of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, released back in 2014, was purely a single-player experience. The same goes for the Nintendo 3DS port back in 2018. The Switch version, which released that same year, also launched as a single-player experience. Wait, what? Yeah, it's easy to forget that it didn't have multiplayer at launch. However, in February 2019, the version 1.1.0 update was released, not only readying the game for its upcoming DLC, but also adding in co-op multiplayer. And thus, Purple Captain Toad was born. But why just a reskin, and not another unique character? Well, throughout most of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, you play as either Captain Toad or Toadette, and the goal of the quest is to save your partner. So, the original story wasn't made with the intention of there being two players exploring these levels and solving puzzles at the same time. And it couldn't have been any of the other Toad Brigade members as well, as the blue, yellow, and green toads are found throughout various levels. Wait, but what about Male Toad, the purple toad? He's part of the Toad Brigade too. Well, for some reason, he doesn't consistently appear with the rest of the brigade. After Mario Galaxy 2, he was absent until Super Mario Odyssey. So, could Male Toad have actually been promoted to Purple Captain Toad? Well, no, because they still look fairly different from each other, since Male Toad has the cap design of a traditional Purple Toad. I guess there were two Purple Toads in the Toad Brigade? There are other various Purple Toads across the Mario series, but not many that have the same cap design. Though, one in particular stands out. The Purple Captain of the Rescue Squad from Paper Mario Color Splash. Okay, yeah, it's very unlikely to be the same Toad, but it goes to show that there just aren't many others with this kind of design. What makes Purple Captain Toad's inclusion even weirder is that the DLC levels for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which were designed with multiplayer in mind, just pair Captain Toad and Toadette together. So Purple Captain Toad just disappears. Now, you may be thinking, well, Captain Toad has appeared since this adventure. Surely Purple Captain Toad does too, right? Well, no. The only other real Captain Toad appearance, outside of a cameo in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, is in the Switch port of Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. The entire brigade, as seen in the original game, appears here, except Purple Captain Toad. Heck, they even adapted the Captain Toad levels in 3D World to account for multiplayer, and they just made the rest of the brigade playable. Well, minus Male Toad once again. Probably because multiplayer only goes up to 4 players. and he was already left out of Captain Toad's game. Captain Toad does appear as a playable driver in Mario Kart Tour, but his purple doppelganger wasn't even an alternate costume, and that one would have been easy. Realistically, the answer to these questions is simple. With the DLC levels focusing on co-op, they wanted to bring a co-op experience to the rest of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, without fundamentally changing what was already there in the game. Nintendo needed a character that was visually distinct enough from Captain Toad so that players could tell the two apart when zoomed out in levels. There's also a level of consistency. Whether you're playing as Captain Toad or Toadette, the co-op partner for the main game will always be Purple Captain Toad. It's why there isn't a Purple Captain Toadette, for example. Despite not being Male Toad or the Toad Brigade, purple was really the only Toad color that wasn't present in the game up until this point. So choosing purple was likely to help keep him visually distinct from not only Captain Toad as we mentioned earlier, but also any other Toad that may have ever been on screen, while also making sure not to create a brand new Toad color. This also isn't the only time Nintendo has created a co-op character for a port of their games. The same was seen in the Luigi's Mansion series. While Luigi's Mansion 3 is the main introduction of Luigi's partner Luigi, he actually first appeared a year earlier in the 3DS remake of the original Luigi's Mansion. While he appeared as a retextured Luigi, the game actually takes time to explain his existence. Luigi is another creation by Professor Egad, and appears in the 3DS title thanks to time travel shenanigans. Look, we didn't say it was necessarily a good explanation, but it's more explanation than Purple Captain Toad has, unfortunately. And this goes for several games. The vast majority of other Nintendo games that have co-op in their main story modes take the time to explain it in-game. The 4 Links and 4 Swords, Bandanity and Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the Co-Star Luma and Super Mario Galaxy 2, these all contextually make sense and have their own explanations, which makes Purple Captain Toad quite the outlier. Choosing to go with simply a color-swapped version of the main character that doesn't even really have a unique name may always be a head-scratcher. Purple Captain Toad? No Toadsworth or any other new Toad getting made? No special name for whoever this second Captain Toad is? No special spin on the name, like Luigi for Luigi? Just make him purple? Okay, at this point, it's pretty clear that Purple Captain Toad was really just intended to be a quick and easy way of adding co-op to the base game, with literally zero effort to explain the hows and whys of it all. After all, it might be a little difficult to explain how this brigade now has 2 captains, kinda like how the original Halo would just roll with 2 Master Chiefs when playing 2-player. Although, perhaps as an act of defiance, we do love how the Purple Captain always tries to steal the spotlight. And hey, we can't blame him. It's literally the one chance he's got before he's likely forgotten forever. Perhaps we'll never know the full story behind Purple Captain Toad, and it seems unlikely that he'll ever make another appearance, as it seems Nintendo would simply plan to use Captain Toad and Toadette together, or use the full Toad Brigade. Perhaps his only chance at another appearance would be if Captain Toad ever got into Smash, as a potential alternate costume. But beyond that, his very existence will always remain very curious.
I can tell you're hungry for more, but that's all the time we have. Subscribe to keep tabs on our latest wares, and slip any comment below. And please, let us know if there's anything, especially peculiar anythings, for us to look into. Thank you for visiting the Curiosity Shop. We hope to see you again real soon.
Hey guys, Tris here, and I just want to say thank you so much for checking out our very first Curiosity Shop. This is a brand new series where we want to take the time to look at different characters, items, ideas, and more from Nintendo over the years, and simply ask, why? We hope you enjoyed, and we'll stay tuned for more.